All right, everybody. Good evening. Again, still figuring out this microphone, so I do apologize about the latency, but I hope you guys had a wonderful day. We're going to go ahead and log into the TikTok really quickly, and we will go ahead and commence with our nightly routine of recapping the day, as well as going and digging into the market tomorrow, and potential setups that way. So. All right. I wonder if they have a neon live on YouTube sign. I could really use that. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. All right. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's get to it. I almost just crushed my elbow. Let me go ahead and tag everybody. All right, everybody. Good evening. If you guys are just joining us, we're going to go ahead and give it about 30 more seconds, and we shall commence. If you guys are on YouTube, or excuse me, TikTok, do me a favor, make sure to tap your screen. Okay, thank you for the ad. But make sure to tap your screen. It does help the algorithm a lot. Unfortunately, I am still dealing with the TikTok algorithm fighting against me and the bans. So had to run it up again. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right. So let us commence the live recap here. So we're going to go ahead and start with some of the headlines here this tonight. Yeah, that is Stock Twits. The computer screen above you on TikTok is the link is in my bio for that one. So, yo, what's up, Kitten Strength? How's it going, everybody? Good evening. Hopefully, you guys can see. Yes, you can. Make sure to tap your screen. Let's run it up. All right, so let's recap today. Today we saw the S&P down 1.79%. We saw the NASDAQ 1.93%. We saw the Russell 2.78% to the downside, and the Dow 1.4%. Every sector closed red. Utilities 0.56% lead. Energy 2.97% lagged. The U.S. economy saw service activity pick up in November with employment and delivery times improving. Meanwhile, factory orders supplied analysts by rising 1% in October. Trending stock top ships fell 50% after announcing secondary offering. PepsiCo announced after hours that it has plans to cut hundreds of corporate jobs. Tesla fell 7% on rumors it's cutting its production at Shanghai plant, leading to investors to question if demand is faltering. Chinese stocks remain in focus. E-Hang and digital group brands rose sharply. Tesla 175, guys. We will cover Tesla, cover Amazon, cover all of those good things. So if you guys are waiting to tune in there, remember that your request, if you guys are on, by the way, if you guys are on TikTok, do me a favor. If any of you guys tune in here, send everybody to the YouTube live. The link is in my bio. Moderators, I would very much appreciate that. If I don't think I actually have any moderator, but all right. That's so loud. Okay. Anyway, continuing here. So crypto news. Circle pulls the plug on a SPAC. Stablecoin giant announces it's profitable. Crypto exchange Bybit is laying off 30% of his staff. Sam Bankman wants to testify for Congress, but only on his term. This dude is off the Richter scale. All right, so global regulators have sounded alarm on the Bank of or BIS sounded alarm over the balance sheet dollar debt. The global regulator, known as the central bank to the world central banks, released its quarterly report today, including a major warning. On a positive note, it says that the year's market volatility has not caused significant market issues, but has also taken a moderate turn towards inflation after telling central banks to act swiftly to bring it down last year. However, its primary concern this year is the FX swap debt balloon that is concerning levels. They describe it as a blind spot that risk is leaving policymakers in the fog. If you want any more details on that, please DM me and I will DM the rest of that article. China news, iPhone maker Foxconn reporting a significant drop in revenue. The November revenue was down 29% month over month and 11% year over year to 14.7 billion. Chinese manufacturer said production is entering off peak seasonality, but the major driver was part of its shipments being impacted by the unrest in Xinjiang, where the world's largest iPhone assembly plant is located. All right, so a couple other things. North Face and Timberland reduced its revenue earnings expectation for the second half of the fiscal year. That's VFC. Um, SpaceX unveils a military variation of the Starlink satellite, and that's about it. So I really don't have anything else to cover. So let's go ahead and take a look at our economic news and take a look at the kind of the sentiment going into the rest of the week. And this is going to be really, really important. So tomorrow, none. There is nothing. So whatever sentiment we have and whatever data we're dealing with, investors either make a directional move or, and I want to preface this analysis by telling you guys that we are currently, right, um, up against or uh excuse me, sorry. We are going into CPI and FOMC on Wednesday of next week, and we don't have a ton of data that we reacted to. So you could call the reaction today. Honestly, I really don't see that as bad of a drop, or really that big of a drop. It still is in range. So again, let me preface this by saying as that the weekly we are dealing with an inside candle. So this is an weird. Most inside candles, open, close, stay in range, often very difficult candles to trade. So there is a directional move that has to be had. And we need to make a move below 180, and we need to close below that bearishly in order to see continuation to the downside, if that is what you're looking for. Things like that. Tesla, again, a lot of candle. I'm mentioning Tesla, but SPY, Tesla, Meta, all these stocks have a lot of those inside candles opening up this week. So really appreciate the time and energy they put into educating everybody on TikTok and YouTube. Thank you, Joe from Indiana. I think it keeps going down Wednesday, then go up. I like that analysis. MMTLP oil stock going private. Short squeeze will be forced closed by brokers. That's interesting. TikTok, Paul TikTok. Let's take a look at that. All right. Moving forward. Again, we have little to no data. December 7th, we have little to no high impact data. And then we have unemployment claims on Thursday, PPI, core PPI, et cetera, on Friday. So really, this could be a shit week. And I know that we just came off of a kind of a shitty week. And when I say shitty, I mean we didn't get significant directional moves that day traders like myself, like a lot of you who follow me, were able to take advantage of in the uh, with the strategy that we utilize. So we look for directional breaks and range, and when we stay in range, which can last for forever on certain stocks, not forever, but obviously quite a bit of time. I've seen stocks stay in range for 6 years. But that being said, range bound stocks are not good day trading stocks unless you have big chunks to put in to those contracts, um, and or into those positions in order to get a reasonable return, for the short move. Trying to wrap my head around how people day trade on top of the start. How people day trade on how the stock market is a big Ponzi. It absolutely is. Be on the right side of things. Listen, I'm not a big fan of the stock market as a whole. I don't think for humanity that it does much good. But I will not stand around and just watch people just suck money out of this market and not try and take advantage of it myself. Um, anyway, this please look at Amazon. I am going to be looking at Amazon. I will go look at Tesla. So, lastly, earnings, guys. There's no earnings that we don't kick off any type of earnings for another couple weeks here. But oh, whoa, StockTwit's got a makeover. So tomorrow, right? Alco, whatever the hell that is, AutoZone, Barnes and Noble, which is ridiculous, $2.06, but nothing really to report there. Seventh, got GameStop, all that other good stuff. But anyway, so moving forward today, I just want to recap. Those of you guys who traded, or I know a couple of you guys took my trade on Tesla. This one ended up moving down to my mark and faded. So we'll take a look at Tesla as far as where it closed. So right there. And this was a previous. Oh, I didn't realize that that was not a straight line. I thought that was a line. We'll just use it as one. So right here we see that from, actually, I'm not cool with that. We'll do this right here. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that this is a clean level. So take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Right now, as far as I'm concerned, this is wedge-like price action. If anybody I took a call on Amazon. It almost had the identical setup, but this one was a slow fade down, relatively steady volume, definitely oversold on those lower time frames. Hourly time frame as well. I wanted to show you guys. So I've kind of been, you know, trying to figure out where our resistance is at in looking at this. So right now we did break this lower time frame channel. But looking at it right now, if we were to expand, this actually would mark out a standard deviation, and this could be the bounce that we're looking for as far as going for a proper retest. But all that being said, tomorrow for Tesla, taking a look at the 4 hour. So we're going to start from the 4 here and move down really quickly. Inverse head and shoulders, shoulder here, head here, possible shoulder here. Weak declining volume, right? To the downside, showing me that sellers are really, really not that strong. You had decent volume yesterday. So I think that it is possible to hit 177.51 tomorrow. 177.50, 50 doesn't really matter. I always round it to the nearest cent mark. So that's what I'm gonna be watching for tomorrow on Tesla. It's got to break below 180. So if you guys again move down to this hourly mark, we want to see a candle open, not just below 180. We can see that that's a key level on the higher time frames, but looking at the lower time frames, it appears that a candle close, I would say 179.09, but be a candle open below 180 period. For those of you guys who use longer expirations, would likely be a mark where you will see a move down to the 177.30 mark. And if it moves anywhere below that, I would imagine that we will go for a gap fill. Otherwise, inverse head and shoulders stands, and we could see a gnarly gap fill up to 195 and a move all the way back up to the 210 or 215 area. Have I what? Did you say? Did you guys say? Excuse my fan. I wanted to lift my desk a little bit. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. All right. I have not covered Netflix. I'm going to go ahead and finish going over this. So let me just clearly go over this one last time. Tesla below, candle open below 177 with volume or consistent volume, I would expect a gap fill. We are very oversold on lower time frames. I would expect a bounce at a minimum. The same level, 180.30, if it is lost, I will be looking for a long opportunity. It is not outside of the question to see the shoulder get formed off of 180 and not go all the way down. So watch for tomorrow to possibly springboard us back to the upside. Who knows what that headline will be? Let me move over here to the side. No, I do not trade patterns that appear on the 5 minute for the most part. Okay. Excuse me, Amazon is next. All right. I took a call on this one, and I'll let you know right now. It was one of those like, so I stayed light, and I'm probably going to stay light. Right now, we are currently floating in space. This is where we closed, and I know it's really, really tough to see, but this is the zone, right? And we can widen it, but this is the zone that we're sitting on top of, okay? And that is the 90-80 level. 90-80. That is where this gap, and like Tesla, right? That's where we could see that that breakdown into its gap. So similar charts there, but and actually the first price target to the downside tomorrow is 89.48 for a gap fill. As a matter of fact, so what I'll be looking for tomorrow is a move back over 91.80 for a break back up into this range, which I don't think will give us that significant of a move, but I would like to see a retest of 94 if we continue to stay in range. I'd like to also point out that on the lower time frame, forgive my Spider-Man chart, got a lot of lines from earlier. So I'd like you guys to notice that there is the potential wedge here starting from the mouth, moving to the lows. You can see that we basically just skidded really slowly. These are 15-minute candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It takes 10, 15-minute candles to get from $91.68 to $90.90, which was the exact price target. Well, I did say 90.80, but was right around that exact price target that I was talking about. So we bounced right off of that. I do have calls. If we were to happen to see a gap up above 91.80, I imagine that we will, right at the bell, rush up to 92.80 or 92.60, spend probably a half hour somewhere up in here, maybe an hour, and then probably dump and make new lows. So if you want to write that down, if we gap up tomorrow with some sort of significant gap, so gap up, right? I am looking at new lows. So gap up equals not new lows like the market's going to crash to new lows, like new lows as of right now. Fat patterns on the price action are easily manipulated. Not really definitive for long-term price action. So, okay. All right. So moving along, guys. Amazon tomorrow into the 90.75 area. We're going to watch for a move down to 90.21 and 89.50. If we bounce, we're looking for a push up and a retest of 92.60 at a minimum, and maybe even a run up into the 93s, depending on how this plays out. But that's about it from me on Amazon and Tesla. I will recap MRO. So those of you guys watching, this one is Not tough to decipher in the fact that it did have a what one could decipher as a double top. I'm still not entirely convinced that this thing is just going to dump oil through the winter. You know what I mean? So right now, I think there is a possible long, or what's going to end up taking quite a while to break to the upside, but more than likely a long-standing flag. So right now, I think that we did end up hitting what I'm projecting to be support. That's 28.30. That's also just a major retest level here below you. I don't know if people can. So if you have any questions, request, please hit the link in the bio and hop over to YouTube. There's probably going to be some regulatory shit on Visa. That's probably why she sold. I don't know. It's worth taking a put on. Anytime Nancy sells something, probably because she knows something. Coin calls. I'm staying away from crypto in general. How do you get your top monitor with all those stocks? The links is in the bio for that website. It's free. All right, moving along. I know I've been talking about this stupid ass penny stock here. It's still holding up at its highs, but it is starting to show signs of U-turn, which is at 53 cents. Anywhere below 53 cents is 47. Below 47, I would imagine that we're probably going to go back down all the way to some god awful level. But the good news is we are currently holding a floor. And like I said, $50.53. As long as that's being held, this could potentially continue to go up. I'm still in. All right. Anyway, Tesla. Last one. Meta. So if you guys have these by request. So Meta right now at the moment has what I am perceiving as a flag. So you saw a lot of stocks pull back. So if we get the bounce that I'm talking about tomorrow, I would imagine that, and we'll see what happens if we get a gap down, if we get a gap up. If we get a gap up, a big one to anywhere around 127, I would be looking for a major pullback on Meta. But remember, there is a gap to fill on Meta, and that gap is not far away. That is at 130. So if you're looking for continuation of the upside from Meta, again, you have to adjust these things for after hours. There's your channel. So again, we could continue to stay in range, and then who knows, maybe we get a massive pop. The longer we sit sideways, the bigger the move overall. Yeah, futures are green, but we'll see if that holds up. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's take your request. If you guys have requests here, make sure to hit the link in my bio. Go to the YouTube channel. Happy to take a request. If you're hanging out here on TikTok, you can always drop those requests there. Come back here. But if you are on here, guys, all I ask is if you guys will please tap your screen. It helps out immensely. I appreciate your guys' support very, very much. All right, so the first one that I see right now is Apple, and I'm going to be oscillating back and forth. But so I'm going to give you guys the same analysis that I gave you guys this morning, because not much has changed. Look at look at those silly lines. Look at these levels. So I just adjusted that a little bit. Obviously, there is a floor 145.87. There's a median 146.82 and a ceiling 147.83. This one went. Oh man, this is money, folks. Do you guys remember the analysis breakdown? Look at that 151.12. That is the gap. That gap was filled, and you are now what could be a rejection, but that is only going to happen if we can open below 144.60, a gap up tomorrow, right? Above 149, or just a small gap up to 148, somewhere in that range, and then a pullback again. That could mean a low or a move down all the way to 140. And I'm telling you right now, if you are mapping out Apple short, I don't blame you. I think that is a potential. I've already done Tesla now. If you guys have any requests on Tesla, please go to the YouTube channel. Those are I covered Tesla, Meta, um, Apple as of right now, Cosmos, and MRO or Cosmo or whatever. I already did Amazon. Check on the YouTube. It is right there. Thank you guys for going crazy on the screen. Much appreciated. It is heat map. It is called a heat map. Right there, stock heat map. You'll see it. Trading view. So AMC. You're funny. You're funny, Mike. All right. Like we're not getting that. The views. Not from you. I mean, you guys aren't getting that good video. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. That's about it for Apple. So I'll move down to the hourly here just to kind of zoom in. If you want to screenshot this, if you guys are on YouTube, you can pause the video, screenshot it, take a picture of it, mark it, compare it, contrast it. If you have anything to add to my analysis, if you feel like I missed something, I'd be happy to hear it. So here's my thoughts. Right now, we're sitting on top of, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7 there, 8, right? A lot of price action happening here. So for Apple, I talked about this yesterday. If this is a low, Apple to the downside, I'm going to give it a PT of 146, 142. So I'm going to write these down. I'm just going to put predictions. I'm going to write down on a Post-it note, and I'll show it to you guys on TikTok. And you guys can screenshot it, and then maybe show it to me tomorrow. So Apple, I'm just going to do predictions. Why not? So I'm predicting Apple downside target. That pin sucks. What do I do with all the pins? Apple 142. I'm not going to play it, so right, and that's down. Now I like to give you guys both sides of the coin. So if we were to move up, I really only see 146.62, and that's just tomorrow. So if you can't see the charts, hop over to YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys are any of my moderators or longtime fans, if you guys don't mind sending people over to YouTube, I appreciate it. Looking good. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. This it is the vibe. Okay. Yep, Game does have earnings this week. Probably a great way to get liquidity out of the market. There's 68 of you guys. Love to see you guys on YouTube. Love for you guys to be able to see my screen in high def. If my screen is blurry, turn your settings up to 1080p or whatever the highest thing. Do I trade full time? I mean, I trade whenever the market gives me opportunity, and I trade as long as necessary, which obviously I'm not trying to stay on here forever. So, all right, moving forward, we have Apple. The next one is SOXL. I believe I should have some chart. All right, I'm going to start on the hourly. If you see something, do something. And I see something. Excuse me. I thought I did. Hold on. Ew. So I'm gonna chalk this one. Oh, that's 1150. It's 1132. It's right there, and it is right there because so I'm gonna give you guys a reasoning as to why this level looks the way that it does. There is a candle closing here, 1368. Candles and wicks closing here, 1368. Flush down, retest, 1370, 1368, right? That is my ceiling. Currently, you are gravitating or floating around. Um, I'm going to call it the median, but there is a possibility that 1185 is the nearest support to you as of right now. Also, something to point out as well is this little bad boy right here starting to look kind of wedgy. Who knows how that's going to play out, but you do have a downtrend here. So the way that I would look at this is now that you have the hourly set up, go to that higher time frame. Obviously, there's two rejections off of 1422. A gap was filled 1452 as well. So period, end of story. You would have to open a candle above 1491 and then deal with $15.10 before any sort of upside move would continue. Now, I also see this. So it took me a second to kind of see it, but let me make sure. There it is. Gotcha. Gotcha. Look at that bad boy. Okay, so standard deviation channel seems to be playing in pretty well, right? We don't want confirmation bias or anything like that, so we want to make sure this thing is lined up really, really nicely. We don't want to be stretching anything. So right now we are currently sitting at the deviation channel. Seems like you're kind of hovering back and forth. Again, 11. It looks like here in the higher time frame, 1162 is another level to watch out for. So let's do this, right? If you close a candle through here, right? I would imagine that, well, let's, I guess for entry's sake, here, and this is $11.12. I imagine that you will be down at $10 to fill at least half of that gap. You do have a little bit of gap to the upside that could be a anchor to the upside, but other than that, that's it. So, I already did MRO. That is on the YouTube. It is beautifully. It is beautifully. What is beautiful? My setup. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. You're a beautiful man. All right, SOXL HQY. What the hell is even that? I'm just kidding. All right, so let's move. I don't know what this stock is. I like to start on the weekly. This scares me, gives me anxiety. This is a everyday trader's worst nightmare. Scary. I think the reason you're asking me this is probably because you see this, and I don't blame you. I'm gonna have to give these respect, so I'm gonna start from there. I don't like that very much, but we'll go ahead and leave it like that and like that. So it looks like HQY. That's just simply a pattern, okay? We don't rely on simply patterns. So in order to find where this would go lower, you would want to stay basically out of this area right here. That's your no area. But moving that up just a little bit further, 58 or 56.45 is where you just bounce. So if you're bouncing and looking for a recovery or something of that nature, you will notice that the majority of the candles above you at 70. So right here, and let me pull that down. So it's going to be 70.85. So if you're looking to take this back up and see green, I would be looking for 70.50 on that one. QS is looking at a Makita new factory. QS is. Are you talking about these dudes? You know, I have a feeling that one day this company might actually recover. I don't know. We'll have to see, but I think they have a long-standing wedge, which, you know, we take these with a grain of salt. Longer wedges tend to perform better, excuse me, than shorter wedges, but let's see what we can find out here. All right, so this is one of those situations too where I kind of want to look at short volume. That is dropped. So you actually have a drop in short volume. So it's not like you're going to get a significant, like a super squeeze or anything. There is not a lot of volume here as well. So the nearest ceiling, and I'm going to stay on the daily as I get, or the weekly and the daily as I give this to you. But I would be looking at any cross or open above 765. Um, ARLP. I'll take a look at that in just a minute. I don't know. Ooh, look at my wires. The wires look so bad. I'm trying to organize my wires. Ugh. Who cares? Do you memorize charts in your head when you're trading? I remember most of the charts that I look at, yes. Yeah. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. A little hot. All right. So, so anyway, 775 is currently the alien, or 780 would be where I'd want to see it open on QS. If you're honestly, I'm not really a big fan of QS with the current price action. LAC, Lithium America. I remember playing this one. Man, this one actually crazy. I think they split or something. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, um, here's your floor. And that is currently what you're sitting on. So any candle open below, candle close or open below, it's going to have to be below 23.25. Um, and that's where I'd be looking for a D. This is actually an interesting find here. Take a look at this. This is, I'm going to write this down. That is a very large uh, descending triangle. So I'm going to give you a time frame. If LAC, I would say by the end of, let's see, I think before earnings here, there's a good deal or a great deal of indication that we would be down around $20 or 19. Is Liquid Death actually good? Yes, I enjoy it quite a bit. Um, I also just don't like drinking out of plastic, dude. That shit wigs me out. All right. don't know why, but I cannot stand this angle. I don't know what it is. It drives me nuts. I don't like it. Sorry. I think I'll bring it out a little bit more. Like it was. All right, so W tsunami painting. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I also have this really cool ass painting. Check that out. That's cool. That's handmade paper. That's pretty sick. Nvidia looking like a mega short. This might be a golden opportunity to go mega short. This may be, man. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. This is a trade idea. So, weekly time frame. Meta or Nvidia up against its downtrend. 1, 2, 3. This chart has to go out. I might have to put this on the watch list going into the next couple of weeks. Black Rifle is good. What are y'all talking about? What do you mean Black Rifle? All right. So the way that I see this right now is we need to find an area where buyers have held up this stock previously, and it looks like it is right there. So this red zone 144.60, and I know we're pretty far away from that. But that is where I would need to see Nvidia breaking down. Now, take a look at this top where we have topped out at. That is 175.44, which may be the price target tomorrow. Watch 175.44, and that could be where we see that really serious rejection and new lows. Moving down to the daily. Yeah, Black Rifle's copy. Yeah, I know about them. Yeah, I make them red. All right, so take a look at this. This is based off of my previous analysis that I gave you guys previously. There is 170.30, like I just said. You saw a rejection today on the daily. The candle pushed off of 170.62. There is a trend from the lows here moving up, and that looks like what you are moving towards. So looking at Nvidia, there's also this to keep in mind. Maybe. So it's not out of the question that we see a 177 pop, and it may just be one more day. We may see 162.42 tomorrow, so I wouldn't go pulling the trigger on anything crazy now, but I think Nvidia comes back down. Weekly channel is really where that. So if we spot it on the weekly, we need to be out at least 6 months. So I drink Earl Grey black tea. I drink all sorts of shit. Yes. Hold on one second. How can we tell which time frame you're on? The top left-hand corner, you'll see it says daily in this little scroll bar. TikTok, Paul, TikTok. SQQQ. I do like SQQQ, but what for? AMD. This one is exactly, I gotta post some charts tonight on multiple different time frames. Holy shit, this is actually pretty crazy. Take a look at this, man. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is absolutely bonkers. 7050 and AMD death. Oh my god. Is that 3 rejections off the top? Oh, okay. Sorry. AMD is about to get clobbered, dude. That is absolutely another chart that has to go up. That's Nvidia, AMD. CVX finally came down today. It was nice. Yeah, Banks came down too as well. So AMD right here, you guys can see there is a 1, 2, 3 rejections right here. Candle close 78.40. The floor currently, as of right now, is 72.80. There is a small gap to fill. Totally possible that you continue to chop here. Any move to the downside, 71.80 and $70.28. Anything below that and 68.50. But at that point, I would be looking for new lows. As this is a rejection, I'd be aiming in the 40s or the 50s. I have a $50 put, so I know what SQQQ is. So I see mRNA is another one that you guys have requested. This one is currently up against resistance, right? And here's your buy area. 163 and 186.50 is your resistance. Let's go back down and go to the daily now. Make sure that those levels are agreeable. There it is. That is correct. We like that. That is 187.60. The floor here is 170.68. A pullback. This is technically a cup and handle on mRNA. Mostly day trading, Ryan. Short swing trades, stuff like that. So yeah, either this is a cup and handle, or you're looking for a third rejection and a move below 168 in order 168, and then I would honestly say 155.75 is also another target that could be a reversal area, but that's about it. ARLP. This one appears to have a trend here. So we're going to actually use, if I see trend, I want math. Math is going to give me clarity. I don't like that. I mean, I see it, but I don't like it. And I'm going to stay here because that's all I really need. Maybe. Yeah, we'll stay right there. That's a good setup right there. So, one or two things. ARLP has taken. I don't even want to. I mean, really, we could just go and do the weekly here. It has taken 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in order to build what appears to be a bear flag, in my opinion. But that's not a lot of price action for a whole lot of movement. And this is typically how it seems to reverse. So whether or not we're at resistance, I don't think so. So there is still the possibility, and I'll zone this out for you as well. You need to stay out of 20. Yeah, so really you bounced off of that area today that is 2212. So stay out of that 2212 area, get back up above 2225. But right now I would say even just getting above 2280 would be a significant sign for continuation at the upside. If you're looking at the 4 hour, where we can kind of zoom in a little bit further, one thing that you can do oftentimes is find trend that way. So watch for a bounce tomorrow and recovery back up above 2260 and 2275 for a potential run back up to 2445. So just using that. Break back above 23. That's enough, but I would say, honestly, I'd probably get in before that if I was getting in. So. Oof. This is a sad, sorry sack of crap. And you can see it, man. That company would be negative. Negative, I tell you. So this does appear to have a Head and Shoulders. Damn, dude, we're finding some fucking crazy setups. Excuse my language, but that is interesting. Head and Shoulders right there. So that does look like a weekly Head and Shoulders. Not super digging. The right shoulder not going back up, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It just doesn't need to be up at an angle or anything like that. So this one is flat and currently sitting at 118. I would be looking at 80. You guys can bring this one back up in 2 months or something, but I'd say $88 or 87.50 would likely be a decent target to watch below 115 to the downside. 115 to the downside. So anybody looking long, so if you're long traders or swing traders looking for long positions with longer expirations, that one might be for you. Guys, remember one ticker per person, please. One person or one ticker per person. What does it say? BBVA? I remember somebody asked me to look at this one the other day. I think I tried it on the daily. Maybe I didn't. A lot of lower liquidity here. Got you. Okay. I found trend here, at least on this time frame. This looks pretty good. Now we need to find a couple key levels. Sorry guys, my analysis is live, so I try not to give you guys any bullshit analysis. There's a lot of guys on here that just fly through shit in order to keep viewers, but I'm not trying to give you guys half-ass analysis. I'd say 630 right now. You need to hold simply above this mark. That is 545. 545, and you should be able to continue to hold. I've already done SPY. I think. No? I don't think I did actually. Okay, so weekly up against downtrend. That was the one that I was looking for today. Yep, there it is. Oh shit, yeah. So we closed a candle. Watch for a gap up tomorrow to 402. If you gap up to 402, watch for a dump down into the. And right now, I would say my best guess is either A, we gap up to 402 or above that, and we push new highs. I have. Let's see. Yeah, so I would say at the moment that it's you got a lot of overhead and you do have 408 and what is that 410 on the dot that you retested a gap that was filled. So right now you closed a candle in the zone below you. My oops oh Look at that. Hold on one second. You closed a candle in the zone below you at the 50% mark of 398.18. So it opened below 398.18 or 398, and my target right now is 393.40. And then if that is broken, this is a big ass bear flag. Watch for a 50% reversal, 375. All right, guys, we've already knocked out a great deal of tickers already. It is 9:15. I ran my stream a little bit too late last night. So today looking to catch up on a little bit of sleep so that way I can be up bright and early tomorrow and we can get our day started a little bit. Guys, I'm going to be on early. If you guys are on TikTok, I'm going to be making my coffee on live. So um, be there or be square or whatever shape you want. Google hot dog water on the weekly, but is agreeable. This one does mimic as well Microsoft and a lot of other stocks with that inverse head and shoulders. Kind of just sitting mockingly right now. We've got 102 as the ceiling, as well as 103.23. But more importantly, is the median that you're sitting on currently with Google that is right here at 98.60 right there. Candle close below or open below 98.60, and I'm looking for 93.30 to the downside and possibly new lows. But as we hold this zone, neither is uh, positive. So I might be live as early. If you're in the Discord, just wait. I would say probably around 7:30 is when I'll be live. So. We do have spots in the Discord, yes. All right, folks. We'll go ahead and knock out a few more here. PayPal seems to be next. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, call it a night. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early. Bright and early. All right. Wow. So PayPal crazy just chop downside, man. If I was a long-term investor, dude, that would give me that's the set it and don't look at it again because you're gonna get trauma. So 7150 is a level lurking directly below you, with another level of 6860. Right now you saw and this was predicted a long time ago, because I haven't changed this channel in weeks, on both Trading Spider or Trend Spider and Trading View. But right now, standard deviation channel, based on what I'm seeing right now, is speaking for a new low at $65. But of course, that is below 71.50 is $70. So we can move down to the hourly. Let's take a look what we got price action wise. So it looks like we got one of these bad boys, which gives you a little bit of room up. So maybe if you gap up tomorrow, I'm telling you what, if you gap up even 76.45 somewhere in there, watch for a big dump down, maybe even $66 in one day. I'm not sure if we'll get that entire move. It might take two, but all right. So Ford, I think I looked at this one on the daily. Yeah, it's got trend coming from here to there, here to there, and ooh, that's a spicy meatball. It looks like 1388 is an area that must not be broken above you. So if you bounce and move back up, that is the last straw. And then to the downside, you need to get down to 1311. And then you have 1257. If that is broken, I would be looking at $11, yes. And I would say that looking at the fact that it does have a flat bottom support, that's likely the next move. But remember, this could end up, sorry, you guys probably see it, right? Could end up with one of these numbers. So you just don't know. So I would say right now 1250 is a good PT. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I'm exhausted. It's been a long couple of weeks. Uh, Also, just my kids shopping, getting ready for Christmas, got a Christmas tree up and everything. So, but if you guys are tuning in here on YouTube, watching later, make sure to smash that like button below the screen. Absolutely decimate it. I'm sorry. And if you guys are on TikTok, I do appreciate you guys getting up to about 17K here. Um, Good live. Thank you for, I appreciate you, man. Um, but uh, but yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, man. Bring your coffee. I will schedule the event. But we'll see you guys there tomorrow morning. So have a good night. Get some rest. Peace. Also, if you're on TikTok, remember to go follow my new backup TikTok page. The link is in the bio. Please.